We had this crazy idea that there's going to be many blockchains. Back then, it was this like really radical idea. Everyone was like, what are you talking about? Everything can just be built on one chain like Ethereum. And now everyone knows that there's going to be a multi-chain world. Osmosis is a decentralized exchange built on its own blockchain. We'd call it an app chain. Now, the question is this multi-chain world versus the interchain world. The multi-chain world is all these layer one blockchains, and you have apps that are going and deploying on every single one. Main chain Ethereum and Arbitrum and Optimism and Avalanche, and we're just going to go deploy everywhere. But what ends up happening is this ends up splitting your liquidity. It ends up splitting the user experience. With Osmosis and this interchain vision, it's saying, no. Instead of doing that, we're going to build one chain that has the Osmosis application on it, but then it connects everywhere else.
Interactions between multiple different app chains feel like a coherent, like single ecosystem experience.
This is how you really get scalability.
Osmosis was the product of a hackathon, Hackathon in 2020.
It kind of started as this joint project between two different companies. I was really focused on the threshold decryption, which is that whole privacy side of things. The Kepler team had built sort of this MVP of Osmosis. And we're like, wow, we really enjoy working together.
We decided to kind of join forces at the end of 2021.
Decentralized blockchain-based exchanges have two main benefits over centralized competitors. One is the composability, and the other is the privacy aspect. Data is sort of the currency of the 21st century. When you're giving your data to these centralized entities, that's where they're profiting and monetizing off of you. Only through decentralized systems can we actually build the privacy necessary to make sure that no one can actually see what people are trying to do before they actually do it. There's a lot of decentralized exchanges out there, but they're all built on an existing platform like Ethereum or Solana, and they're constrained with the limitations of the platform that they're built on top of. With Osmosis, we control the entire stack from top to bottom and gives us this customizability and sovereignty to really provide the best user experience possible.
The current standard for using DeFi applications is just a very difficult, cumbersome user experience. On the Osmosis user interface, what you do is 1-2 clicks and then swap.
The Osmosis community actually feels like this deep sense of ownership over the chain. 93% of all accounts on Osmosis have voted in at least one governance proposal, which is kind of a crazy metric, just showing how active the users of our Osmosis are in the whole governance process. There's a lot of actually core functionalities of the DEX that are not handled by the dev team, but are actually run by these sub-DAOs that were elected.
The support lab essentially handles 24/7 support for all users across all platforms. The Osmosis Ministry of Marketing handles the brand direction, the marketing strategy, and the community operations for Osmosis. And the Osmosis Grants program is an incubator that facilitates growth for the interchain.
We are really focusing on quality over quantity.
As a builder coming to build in this ecosystem, you're going to be like ahead of the game.
I think we're like a big family. Even though we're all running independently, we can all share the same tooling. We made everything completely open.
We're seeing this interchain world really come alive. At the moment, we're connected to about 50 chains. Osmosis is sort of the first one there to really capitalize on that. Through Axelar, we're actually going to be able to start connecting to Polygon, Avalanche, eventually even Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. And the goal is to be the interchain DEX, not just the Cosmos ecosystem DEX.
The offering that the Osmosis users, the Osmosis liquidity, and the Osmosis IBC ecosystem has is unmatchable.
I think we're going to look back in a couple years looking at all the innovation that's happened, and we'll see that a lot of it actually stemmed from Osmosis.